Gladys and Nelson have lived in Southern California for 35 years. She says they're good people who paid their taxes, raised a wonderful family in Laguna Niguel, and recently became first-time grandparents. But Gonzalez's parents came to the U.S. from Colombia illegally, and the family says during a routine check-in with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, their parents were both detained February 21st, and they're now scheduled to be deported to Colombia by the end of the month.
El presidente de los Estados Unidos prometió que
Gonzalez says President Donald Trump promised to take out criminals who have committed horrible crimes, and that's not the truth. She says her parents have no criminal history, and an ICE spokesperson did confirm that today. In a statement saying in part, as part of its routines operations, ICE arrests aliens who commit crimes. The statement goes on to emphasize, and other individuals who have violated our nation's immigration laws. While immigration enforcements have focused on those with criminal backgrounds initially, we are now starting to see what ICE calls additional priorities being carried out. ICE confirms an immigration judge found no legal basis to allow the Gonzalezes to stay in the U.S. and granted Gladys and Nelson voluntary departures in 2000. The Gonzalez family says their parents tried everything they could to appeal their cases and find a pathway to citizenship, but they say they were given bad legal advice through that decades-long process. Now, 25 years later, the couple was taken into ICE custody on February 21st to process a final order of removal. Gustavo Mora is an immigration attorney who does not represent the Gonzalez family, but says has many clients in the same situation.
Under the Trump administration, I have seen them be more aggressive. Yes, but realistically, this would be a justified removal order under any administration, because again, the courts found that they had no relief.
The Gonzalez family says they've exhausted all of their options and that the best thing they can do right now is help their parents prepare for a new life in Colombia once they're deported.
Today makes 11 years since the date that I got deported from the UK and sent back to Jamaica. 11 years is a long time. I'm fully grateful for the experiences that I had along the way. But today is like the first time I'm sat here and I'm saying to myself, like, rah, I got deported at 19 years old and I got back to the UK at like 25. Those are like very important, pivotal years. Not just for a man, but just for any human being in their development, do you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, it just made me a bit emotional because I finally realized the time that I was robbed, if that makes sense. I'm back in the UK now. I got back in the UK after 5 years. When I got deported, and it was mad, I remember people on Twitter just making bare jokes, laughing at me and all of that type of shit. Yo, all I know where they that laugh. All I know where they that laugh. Yeah. So couldn't matter. I'll make it through the other side, pussy. See it there? Give God thanks and give God the glory. You understand? Enough of them are embarrassed. Enough of them can't look me in my eyes because they were making jokes about me privately. You understand? 11 years later, I'm still standing firm and I beg no one for nothing. This shit either makes you or break you, innit? Made me. Still not envy nobody. Still grateful for my situation regardless of what I went through. Yeah, love and love to everybody that's supported me along the journey. Right now I'm at home and I'm reflecting on 11 years. I'm about to go and make food for my kids. Did you get it? Like 2 brand new singles out right now. We got hella projects dropping this year. We got some special announcements coming. Like, honestly, man, it don't matter what it's looking like for you. As long as you tell yourself, say you're not lose, brethren, you're overs. Big up everybody that supported me along the way. Here's to 11 more years.
Idris Michelin moved to South Florida when he was just 3 years old. Now at 32, he's back in Haiti with his American wife. He says he committed a crime and now he's living the consequences.
I still don't feel like I'm home. I still feel like I'm just roaming. I feel uneasy.
For the past few weeks, Idris Michelin and his wife Yamil have been walking the streets of Haiti, trying to mentally accept that this is now home.
I lived in the country 30 years. I never got in trouble, but I made a mistake. My morals became corrupted.
Idris was deported after serving 25 months in federal prison and 9 months in ICE custody. He was convicted of getting an illegal PPP loan back in the summer of 2020. He was living in the United States as a permanent resident, graduated from Southridge High School, and went on to Miami-Dade College. He was a licensed realtor and insurance broker. After serving his sentence earlier this month, Michelin was deported to Haiti on a flight with 120 people.
Your ankles are getting cut up. Your hands are shackled together. You know, they're telling you, hey, if there's a plane crash, you're going to grab this from here and you're going to put this on your face. How?
He says once in Cap Haitian, they were given $100 and released to family. His wife was waiting.
And there's people that left only 2-3 years ago that are afraid to come here. And she's here.
The temporary protective status, or TPS, for more than 330,000 Haitians will end on February 3rd of next year. Without any other immigration protections, some may find themselves, like Idris, back in Haiti.
It's very limited here. And now that I'm here, you know, to my country where my flag is, the people are wonderful. The people work hard. But they're trying to overcome obstacles, and I'm here trying to overcome obstacles.
A U.S. Army veteran is about to be deported any day now this week. This man, Godfrey Wade, has been living in the United States for over 50 years. He's been living in Covington, Georgia, and according to his family, he was arrested for not driving with a license after he was pulled over for not using his blinker. Apparently, he had an order to be deported from ICE because of some charges from earlier in 2000 for simple assault, as well as for a bounced check. Now this man has been in custody first here in Atlanta, and then he was moved to Louisiana, and there is a ticket for him to be flown back to Jamaica, which is where he's from. And we've heard from his fiance, from his children. They say that he's a father, he's a grandfather, and he would be taken away from everyone he knows and loves.
A 37-year-old black man just got deported, and he literally was born on a freaking U.S. base. Now I know y'all like, how the hell he get deported and he was born on a damn U.S. base? So his father was sent to Germany. His father was a U.S. soldier. He was sent to Germany. And so, of course, the mother went with the father to Germany or whatever. And they were living on the American base where they were stationed at in Germany. Well, he happened to be born 37 years ago on the damn base. And back then, Germany did not give him no citizenship. And the U.S., well, apparently he says he never knew that he was not a citizen until he got a misdemeanor for having his damn dog tied up to a tree. And then they shipped his ass right out here. So at first they sent him to Germany, y'all. Germany said he's not a citizen here. The U.S. says he's not a citizen here. So guess what they did? They sent his ass to Jamaica because that's where his dad is originally born. And now he's been in Jamaica for 5 months. And guess what, y'all? Jamaica is ready to put his ass out too, literally. And so I'm like, how the hell does this even happen? He literally has no citizenship nowhere, and the U.S. won't give it to him, even though he was born on a U.S. base. Tell me what y'all think about this shit.
6 American children lost their father because the Party of Family Values thinks that he needs to go back to the country he was born in after 34 years in the United States, and despite being on a valid work permit. I don't want to hear any more about the Party of Family Values. Again, he's on a valid work permit and was sole caretaker, single father, of his 6 children, all of whom are U.S. citizens. Don't give me it's all about the kids stuff. Don't give me your family values stuff. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are you trying to create in this country? Like what's going to be left that's worth saving if you think this is the kind of country you want to create, where children are denied their parents, where these horrors are committed on our streets every day? Can you not see the domestic terrorism that's being committed by our immigration and customs enforcement in the name of making our country great? There's nothing great about this. There's absolutely nothing great about this, and I don't know how anybody can be blind to that. You want to enforce immigration, fine, but can you use your brain while you're doing it? Can you maybe think through what you're doing? What this looks like to me is any number of things. Number one, it's all about making America white again, or it's all about having the biggest numbers we can have, no matter what the cost is, no matter what the damage is. Let's just make sure that we have the highest number of deportations possible. We don't care if we're deporting U.S. citizens, if we're deporting people who are here legally, if we're breaking up families, if we're deporting people who have never committed a crime. We don't care. Just get those numbers up. Maybe that's all it's about. Maybe it's not just that they want to make America white again, but honestly, it looks like both to me.
You're going to be deported back to India.
Oh my God, don't do it like that, please.
Please. Your right to stay in this country will be revoked. You will not be allowed to stay in this country. You'll be sent back to India. You've committed a crime. The conditions on your visa, they clearly state not to break the law, because the visa will be revoked and you'll be sent home. You're going to be deported.
Please.
Too late.
Please, my
No.
friend.
I'm not your friend.
I will throw my phone.
No. It's too late. You're going back to India. You're leaving this country. Your wife and your kids may be able to stay in the country and continue their education, but you will be going back to India.
I can beg you, please.
No. The police have been called. They're on their way.
You've done the harm to the child.
Deportation has been one of the most controversial topic and tricky topic to talk about because this affects people's lives. At the same time, immigration policies are in each and every country and must be applied when necessary. Imagine spending most of your years in a country, going to school there, building friendship there, and building your entire life there. And then one day you're told that it's over. You have to leave. Not because you're moving by choice, but because you're being ordered to by the law. For many immigrants across the United States and Europe, the reality has become a life-changing experience. Today we are talking about what happens when people spend decades in the West only to find themselves deported years later. When people hear the word deportation, they often focus on the legal process. But behind every deportation is a human story. Many immigrants spend years, sometimes even decades, building a life in their adopted countries. They learn the languages, adapt culture, develop routines, and even create careers. Their daily life become deeply connected to the society around them. After enough time, the country they move to no longer feels foreign. It feels like home. Their communities are there. Everything they know becomes tied to that place. And that is why deportation after many years can be so difficult. And it is not simply change of location. It is the loss of an entire way of life. So let's talk about one of the biggest challenges is emotional impact. Many deported individuals leave behind people they care about. Neighbors, friends, co-workers, even children, and the emotional shock can become overwhelming. Imagine waking up in a country where you know every street, every store, every shortcut to work, and then suddenly find yourself in a place where everything feels unfamiliar. Many people describe feelings of uncertainty, anxiety, and isolation, not because they don't understand where they came from, but because so much of their adult life was built somewhere else. The longer someone has lived in a country, the deeper those emotional connections tend to become. And losing those connections overnight can be extremely difficult. Another major challenge is having to start over with nothing. And most people spend years building stability, a job, a routine, and a sense of belonging. After deportation, much of that can disappear instantly. People often find themselves trying to rebuild from scratch. New houses, new employment, new social circle, new opportunities, and starting over is difficult at any age. So finally, one topic often overlooked is identity and belonging. Where do you belong after spending decades somewhere else? For many immigrants, identity becomes complex. They may have strong connections to their country of origin, but they may also have strong connections to the country where they spent much of their lives. After years in the West, people often develop habits, values, and experiences shaped by the society around them. That doesn't erase their roots, but it can create a situation that feels caught between two worlds, not fully connected to the place they left, yet no longer living in the place they called home. The feeling of being between cultures can be one of the most difficult aspects of deportation. It is not always visible, but it can affect every part of a person's life. At the end of the day, deportation is about more than borders and paperwork. It is also about people. It is about lives that were built over years. It is about relationships, memories, careers, and communities. Whether someone agrees or disagrees with immigration policies, it is important to recognize the human side of these stories, because when someone spends decades in the West and is later deported, they are not leaving a country. They are leaving behind a chapter of their life, a chapter that may have defined who they became as a person. And that is why these stories continue to spark debates, discussions, and strong emotions around the world. What do you guys think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and kindly remember to keep it respectful. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.